And then when I saw that you were starting to drop, and I was like, oh, something's coming. And then you did the rollout, you did everything like it was actually like a project, like an album, like a mixtape. What do you call it?
Yeah, it's an EP. I still want to like work on my debut album because like my debut album, I feel like it's got to be like a self-titled project, and like I don't want that to just be all love songs.
Yeah.
This was just like I was in a very loving space for like since I've met her,
Yeah.
and so I just that's what came out. I didn't have like a plan like, okay, I'm gonna have like a story type of project. No, I clocked in every day make a song, work on a song, and then eventually I had like 12, 13 songs to pick from, and these seven just kind of created a story. Like I just put it together. Like even like the first two songs are kind of like some like kind of first meeting somebody and like that talking stage where it's like not having expectations, stuff like that, and then transitions into straight love songs like
Yeah.
like love you like a fat kid love cake type of
Yeah,
songs,
yeah, yeah.
just everything perfect. And then it ends with like the last two songs kind of being more like the end of a relationship type of thing, which luckily didn't happen, but it's like that's the story. It's like
Right.
a full relationship is this project, but to answer your question, it's not
Right.
an album.
So more like what you just said right now, I'm
Yeah.
gonna deep dive into exactly like each of those little
Hmm.
pieces. I've listened to the album and I've kind of like I really had to like dive into kind of like understanding where it was that you kind of were pulling inspo from my perspective, and then but I'm gonna really just ask you where you got it from. Before we do all that, let's get a little bit on your background because I know there's a lot of people probably don't know like where you grew up, like you know what I'm saying, like who's Wonder and how did that start up, you know what I'm saying? So you could go as far as back as if when you were born, or you could go start where you like first fell in love with music.
Sure, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was born in Davis, the hospital,
Nice.
but like I didn't start making music till I was about 16 or 17, one
Yeah.
of those.
Yeah.
And it was just, I don't know, it was kind of like I've loved music my whole life. Like since I was a kid, if I didn't have my earbuds with me, like I would throw a fit.
Yeah.
It'd
Yeah.
be
Hell yeah.
bad. But I never really like believed I could make music.
Yeah.
I'd always listen to songs and be like, how do they come up with this? This is crazy.
Yeah.
And then I was like, it was quarantine time. I had a surgery for my back, so I couldn't even go to school. I couldn't go anywhere. It was
Right.
hard for me to even like leave the house and go like to the corner and back,
Yeah.
So I had a lot of time just sitting at home watching YouTube.
Right.
And so then I just looked up how to make music, and so like it started off as like beat making. I've never made a beat in my life,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
my school, it was this what do you call it, at home school.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so they give you $300 for an independent project,
Nice.
so you can do whatever you want. That's $300, and but at the end of the semester you got to show something.
Right.
So what I did was like, let me take this as an opportunity to try music. Like I love it so much, but I've never tried.
Yeah.
So I got like that little Akai Mini, the one everybody got.
Yeah, the little
The
piano with the little six squares. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's right. Downloaded, the little software, and then I tried it, but then I ended up just rapping to the metronome.
You talking about MPC, the MPC Beats one on online? It looks like a MPC and stuff like that. The one that comes with the Kai,
Um,
or like you did
no,
something
no,
else?
no. It was because with the $300, I got the Akai and then the Scarlet Solo.
Okay,
And with
okay.
the Solo, you get a like
A
Pro
trial
Tools
subscription.
first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you get Pro Tools first, which is just 3 songs.
Oh,
So if
okay,
you make
okay.
more than 3 songs, you gotta delete one.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's kind of shitty, but it was perfect because I
Right.
was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I made 3 songs, and I tried to make a beat, but then I like was watching videos of how people made beats, and I would kind of like hum along, like freestyle a little bit. Like I don't really freestyle like that, but I'd like rap over the beats they're using as examples,
Yeah.
and then not making a beat.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But
You know what's funny about that is like when I first started, I had a surgery similar, like right, not a back surgery, but I was out for a while, and I would make them off. Before Logic, GarageBand was on everything, right, and it's free. So you would have it on an iPhone, you'd have it on a laptop, whatever. All I had was my phone, and it had loops on it.
Yeah.
So, bro, I go back sometimes. I'll listen to him, and it sounds like some weird techno, like it sounds
Yeah.
like some weird stuff. But to
Yeah.
me, it was like, oh, this is enough. Just to give me a beat to go
Mm.
along with it. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah, that's all you need. Yeah, I know what you mean though. That's how mine sounded because you would only be in C major. Sounded
Yeah,
like some video
exactly.
game music.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to touch the black keys because they sound too crazy. It's like, you
Yep,
know what I'm
that's right.
saying?
That's
Yeah.
right.
What was your like? What would you say was your first song you ever made that meant something to you, that you were like, it might not have been the greatest, but something that you said, oh, like, this was enough to know that I have some sort of talent or some sort of, skin in the game at that point.
Honestly, that didn't come till like pretty late, like a couple years into it. Like probably like when I met you and like the guys at school and stuff is probably when I was like, I'm kind of like getting good at this, because for the longest I knew it sucked, but God, I was having so much fun.
Yeah,
In the
100%.
process, I was like, this is the best song ever. But then
Yeah.
like 2 days later, we're like, this just
No,
sucks.
I hear you.
But then like this project actually is like the first one that I'm like, I wouldn't change a thing on like all seven. I wouldn't change a single thing, and that's like kind of new to me because every time I like hear my songs, like Elena or a friend or my mom would like play my song, and I kind of cringe.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? But this is the first one where I like don't really do that,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like kind of like singing along to my own song, and I'm like,
Proud
I
of it.
like this.
Proud of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I agree, man. I mean, so we're gonna work. I want to like the album to be the final step of our journey, right?
Mm.
So like, let's just say, did you have any influences when you were a kid when it came to music, or was it just something you wanted to do? Did you have like family members that were musicians or artists?
Yeah, I did. My cousin, he was a drummer and he was good. He was really good. He just like, stopped over time, but he was the one who like really introduced me to music. Like even like when I was like 6 and Crank That by Soldier Boy came out, he
Yeah,
put me on that. And
sick.
that was like the first rap song I was put on. It
Yeah,
was Soldier Boy. And then I just like went on a deep dive. He put me on all these artists like Kendrick, Schoolboy Q, Kanye, like all these different people. He put me on, and so that's where my like love for it kind of started. Then he made like a CD,
mm,
and so then I was able to just discover it. Because as a kid, I was like, these songs are dope, but these are like I had the same like 10 songs on loop because I don't know what exists. Like I don't know anything out there. But that's kind of how it started. And like Kanye, for the longest, has been my biggest like inspiration. Like creates creatively, like lyrically even because people I feel like kind of dismiss him as like a lyricist and a rapper. Like they always kind of give him props for his production, but I love him lyrically as well.
100%.
And so I always kind of was inspired by that and his whole like he does everything.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I love that. Like even like Donald Glover, how who like make movies in Atlanta
TV
and shit
shows.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like that's sick to me. Because creativity could be so much more. Like even like Eminem, like how he's amazing at drawing. Things like
yeah.
that. Like all this creativity stuff, it's all connected.
It makes sense because when I first met you, you were always so like interested in like everything. Like when I think like, well, when we first met, we met at was it Wood World, or what is it called?
Yeah, some like skate
Some skate
shop.
shop, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, in
there was
Lodi.
like a cipher or some like heavy metal shit going on.
Yeah, when there was like one rapper, some dudes were trying to fight outside. You remember? They were trying to
Yeah.
like go
Oh
through
my
people's
God, they
pockets.
were. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then we were like freestyling right
yeah.
outside. Yeah, with Abraham, right?
Yeah,
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 yeah, I remember
and
that.
yeah. We were. I remember that was the first time where I felt like like a part of the community, where it was like, okay, all you guys have this similar goal. You guys all do the similar stuff. Like we're just chilling. I think we are smoking. Like we were probably just
Yeah.
kicking back, and we just started freestyling. Remember, we were going
Yeah.
back and forth for like a good hour, but it was cool because I was like, okay, now I have my base community right here. Like I got the homies, and when we went back to school, I think that same week it just became like it was like domino effect. It was like everybody finally started to kind of bunch up and all mess with each other like that, you know?
Yeah, especially at SCC, the
Yeah,
fucking parking lot. It was had
yeah,
like 15 different artists there, and everybody
yeah,
do something a little different. Like one guy only freestyles, and then one guy
yeah.
only writes, and then one guy only take pictures,
hmm
like shit like that.
Abe was like the craziest beat like person,
Yeah,
and then but he rapped like a motherfucker, just didn't want to do it,
yeah,
you know? Yeah.
yeah.
But it came to that point where like when I started really like getting to know you, you always had this kind of, you and Rob were very similar. You guys had these like cinematic views of like your world. You know, it wasn't like your life, it was your world, like the one that you were creating as you went along. And like, you know, growing up for me, it was like a Sims type of thing. I don't know if you're familiar with the game Sims,
Yeah.
right? And then it's always like an escape. Like you guys always had a way of like romanticizing what it was that you were trying to like put out there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I remember going to your house that one day for the first day and making. I don't know if we did. You do?
We never like finished that song, but I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah,
It's like a
yeah.
R&B type of song. Yeah.
And I remember you would ask me like how do you sing, and I remember I would be like, I don't know, like I don't know
Yeah.
how to do, like I don't know how to
Yeah.
tell you how to sing. I just know like there's a way, like, you know. And I remember you taking the initiative and going to actually figure it out with the people that actually had experience with, you know, kind of training your voice and how to, you know, do all these different things.
Yeah.
But with that understanding, it's like Kanye would be an influence. Was he an influence for this album? Because this album, when I hear it, the remnants is a little different. It almost gave like Brent Faiyaz. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly, especially like The Weeknd, for example.
Yeah.
Brent Faiyaz. There was another one
like it was real moody.
yeah, that was kind of the, like, especially the beginning where like I knew part one and
Yeah.
two. Those were very like gloomy, kind of like fucking music,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
And I was
yeah.
kind of going for that.
Yeah.
But it was just cool because I've never done anything like that. Especially part one. One thing I'm like kind of irks me a little bit is like, yeah, I'm happy like people are listening to it, but I tried so many new things on this project, and it seems like nobody really like noticed, or maybe they do, they're just not saying it. But like part one, there was this part where like I sent my vocals through a guitar amp.
The distortion. I was
Yeah,
about to ask
that
you
was the
about that.
Kanye influence
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And so adding the distortion and auto tune, and it was my
Yeah.
first time trying that. So that's where the Kanye inspiration came in on part one, and then like part two, it was more of The Weeknd, probably like closer to Brent Faiyaz. I was kind of like just speaking and singing kind of low
Yeah.
like this and
Smooth.
stuff. Yeah, try to be a little
Yeah.
sultry. But then like even like near the end, it's kind of just back to like West Coast type of rapping, you
Yep,
know,
yep.
and just kind of, I don't know, made it more personal, a little turn up shit, but not like, it's not party songs, you know. But I just wanted it to be upbeat, kind of dance too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like that's where I thought your pocket was. You know, I always in my head I was like his pocket, because I remember when we started, you were on that R&B kind of like singing vibe, getting closer to like the suave is what I call it. It's like rapping, but smooth rapping, kind of,
Yeah,
you know,
more
player
melodic.
stuff. Yeah, more melodic. But there was those times where I'd be like, hey, look at this like ratchet ass, like, you know what I'm saying? Hop on that. And then you would do some crazy shit. I'd be like, oh, this is your pocket,
Yeah.
like this is your lane. But I feel like that's the easy one. But
Yeah,
it's like
I
you're like,
agree.
oh, this to me is too natural. I like going for the hard stuff. Like,
Yeah.
let me find something that's like maybe not as natural and then make it sound natural. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That was interesting in the album where I was like listening. I was like, you could feel the pockets where you would fit it in with a kind of like with the debauchery, you know what I'm saying? But then there was other pockets where you were being real sentimental, real like I love you baby type stuff. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
But that's fire. I like how you kept it genuine and then still had fun with it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
Like,
yeah, because I still want to like try new things, you know, because
Yeah.
I want to lean more towards that R&B singing type of thing, just because like it feels more expressive, like it feels better. It's just I'm like really new to it. Like I've been doing it for like a year or 2 years, but it still is like fairly new compared to how long I've been rapping for, you know. And I just don't want to like get comfortable in
Yeah.
it, and like I just want to like I just love learning. I love learning and trying to grow and like seeing the next like thing that's out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, like that's how I got into the performing and stuff. And like now I'm like kind of got on a roll. Like I went to a few of these open mics and, you know, networked a little bit, and then it led to like opening for Boldy James.
You gotta speak on that because I wanna know. I remember Eric texting me like, "Hey, bro, check this out. Like, we're
Yeah.
gonna do this thing with Bodie
Yeah.
James. Is it cool if I use the song with you?" I was like, "Are you kidding me? Of course. Like,
Yeah.
go crazy." But he was like, "Hey, me and Wonder finna do my thing." Every time I saw you guys post something of it, it just looked like unreal. Like that's
Yeah.
where y'all supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, thank you, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
it. Yeah, it was really luck because like it was just Eric. He just texted me one day. I was at my grandma's in Vallejo,
Yeah.
and then I get a text like 5 in a row, like, send me your music right now. Send me your music. Send me your music.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. I quickly did it, like, kind of just weirded out. Like, why are you texting me this shit, right?
Yeah.
And then he told me, like, he's, like, figuring out how to get us to open for him and stuff like that. And it was such a great experience. Like, I'm so happy with my performance and, like, what I put on there. And, like, learning from it, too. Because, like, even then, my performance, I feel like I kind of rushed through it in between songs. I should have took a little, like,
Breather,
a little breather, recalibrate, take a sip of water,
Yeah.
especially on like those like singing songs. I get really winded,
Yeah.
so I learned that and kind of, I'm just happy with that experience, getting to meet him and like, yeah, it was just dope,
Yeah, for sure.
but, shit, I forgot the question.
Well, like, okay, and I'll rephrase it. Like, so as far as getting in contact with, did you guys get in contact with him directly, or was it like DJ manager type?
His manager.
Got it. And it was just kind of like, hey, I like your guys' music. Let's throw you guys in and see how it goes type thing.
Kinda, it was like they needed an opener. So like I guess she posted something and then Eric had hit her up like, you need an opener? Like I got it, And so then they started going back and forth. She was like, I don't know, like send me your music,
Yeah.
And so then she was really fucking with his music.
Yeah.
And then he was just a good friend. Like
Course,
he was like, let me
100%.
bring
Yeah,
Wonder,
yeah, hell yeah.
And so then he started blowing me up and had me send the songs too, and she was fucking with my songs. So
Right.
it just kind of worked out. So I'm pretty happy about that,
Yeah. No, definitely. I think like first off, big ups to Eric, because that's a very like that's a brother move right there. You know what I'm
Swear.
saying? At the end of the day, in every sense of the word, he's always been one of the most helpful people
Seriously.
in everything that we've all done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On top of that, it goes to show, how far you've come along. If they could listen to your music and say, hey, you know what? Like, yeah, I'll give you the opportunity.
Exactly.
I think what is it? Is like, did you? Did you was great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was like the first one I know you kind of like stepped on. Like I've seen you perform a couple of times. And then the Not For Real, right?
Yeah, oh for real.
For real, right?
It's funny. Did You is her favorite.
Yeah,
She keeps telling me that. I was like, what about this whole project I made for you? But
One of that was like the first song where like it was kind of because he already had it pieced together basically.
Yeah.
And then he asked me to come in to help out with it, and I think all we added was just like the background vocals and kind of match the vocals levels a little bit,
like mixing stuff. Yep.
And I remember like when it was all said and done, like when I saw you perform it at the live at the open mic.
Yeah.
Those open mics will teach you a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Like, even like you were saying right now, the giving yourself a break between performance. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think I could have engaged more like with the crowd. Like there's moments where you kind of start thinking about these things, because I think nobody has expectations, especially if they don't know your music. You kind of just going with the blank slate, so you could do whatever you want.
Exactly,
It's just
yeah.
like sometimes that's just the best thing. But once again, congratulations for that's a big win, man. That's Harlow's.
Yeah.
Like, that's like
Yeah,
Post
thank you.
Malone people, like, what I'm saying? Like, this is where big artists comes to start kind of like getting a buzz going, This is your city. Like, this is
Yeah.
a place where you are, these are your stomping grounds. So, big ups to you. Congrats on that.
Thank you.
And where does that lead to the album? Are you already working on the album, or is that something that kind of comes from that, like, the confidence is there, the vibe is there, like, you're ready to go?
Yeah, no, the confidence was there, and like that show kind of helped like build it. But the project I've been working on since like 3 years ago, like not even like directly, but like when I first met her, the first like I was in the making of those verses, like not even recording it, just like writing, just like little melodies come in my head. So I'm like, you know what, let me write this down. And then like we started dating however months later, and then these songs, like I'm writing more of those love type of songs, and so then eventually it's like all recorded, and then Jaden is coming over and kind of doing like rough mixes and send it to some friends. Eric comes over, get some feedback, like, what you think, and then just little revisions, out of breath here, maybe pause here, do this part softer. And then it's funny, it actually kind of goes back to that Bully show. Brad, remember the professor?
Yeah.
He was the one who was helping us get our performance mixes ready for the show.
Nice.
And so we would be at his house, and such a dope dude. Shout out to him.
Yeah, big time.
Did it all for free. And then while I was there, I was like, I'm trying to work on this EP. You think you could kind of like mix it or like at least listen to it and let me know what you think? And he was like, what, I'll do the whole thing. And so I'm like, oh shit, like, what do I pay you? Like, what's your price? And he was like, kind of like, you can't afford it.
Yeah,
but just take it, And he was like, if you really want to, buy me an ounce of weed.
Yeah,
and I was like, I can do that.
Easy
so $60-$70, I bought him some weed.
Yeah.
And then he mixed all 7 songs. And he put me on hella game with like all these different plugins, just a little shit. But he really kind of pushed me forward with it. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it all just kind of like tied together with that Boldy show, because then while we're getting ready for those performance mixes, he's mixing all 7 songs. Yeah. And now they're all ready. Right. And and then I was just like, I wanted to release a single first, kind of push that Speeding Rush one. And it was cool, actually. Like, I thought it would do a little better. Yeah. But, like, when I listened to it, I thought that was, like, kind of my favorite. It's got some singing. It's got some rapping. It's, like, a little bit of everything in that one, right? But, strangely enough, I think it's, like, I Knew Part 2 has been everybody's favorite, like, through the board.
Me too. I'm not gonna lie. Because Speeding Rushing was awesome. But, like, I Knew Part 2 just has, like, you just were so fluent in it. And it's, like, I think sometimes people listen sonically rather than like the lyrics, the punches, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's why I wanted to do like a release party,
for sure.
So because I've seen a lot of people doing that, especially like self-design art gallery, things like that, like everybody doing a fucking release show. So but I don't know, I just feel like with this project, it's not so like turn up, like I didn't want to party to this project, like in my head, when you're listening to it, you're by yourself. Like you're by yourself listening to the words, and not like, you might be moving, don't get me wrong, but like you're listening.
It's intimate. Yeah.
Exactly. You're not socializing. You know what I mean?
Did you ever think like coffee shop? Like doing something like real like dim lighting, kind of just coffee shop vibes.
That'd be dope. I haven't really
20
thought of that.
people or something like that, and just sit on a chair and spit it instead of standing and trying to do the extras. Kind of just like vibe with the crowd, you know what I'm saying? And like, I think it would be a much easier performance. Yeah. Might even be easier to organize. And you might not even have to do the whole entire album. You could always just do your favorites songs or whatever, you know? But I'm sure somebody at a coffee shop would take that.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Actually, I think I'm going to start looking into that, for real.
Look in Midtown, bro. I've seen a lot of places where they do live performances to like, open micers and stuff. So just hit a couple people up and they'll probably be cool.
Okay, gosh. Yeah, because I tried that in Old Sac. It just didn't really work out like that. But
it's too touristy. Like, it's too,
Yeah. Okay, gosh. I'll try that.
Yeah. But that goes to say, too, it's like, so you kind of were working on this as you're going along, get that opportunity with Boldy James. When you performed at Boldy, how many songs did you have on your set list?
I had 5 songs because we had about 15 minutes.
Sick. Okay.
Yeah, so I did 5 songs. 2 of those songs were on this project, so it was kind of like performing some unreleased, And then I did Oh For Real, Did You, and then this other unreleased one that's not on Love Letters either. So it's just kind of like some exclusive stuff for the show, But yeah, it was really dope. And then even when he heard it, it was funny. He said, and I've never heard this before, he said it reminds him of Usher.
Which one?
Boldy James, sorry. When he like heard the song, I asked him like, oh, what you think, And it was funny, like I seen like as I'm like doing it, like I seen his face. He like make a face when I say medulla oblongata, and so after I was like, oh, you fuck with that punchline, and he just laughed.
Wait, which song are you talking about?
A Speeding Rush. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I performed that one, and I asked him. He was like, oh yeah, some shit like Usher would make.
That's
I'm
crazy.
like, okay, I've never heard that.
It's weird how you interpret things, though, right? Like everybody's kind of different. Boldy's a little bit. He's like older than us, right?
Oh yeah,
I think in his 30s,
40s.
Okay. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Usher's. I wouldn't have seen that one, but
yeah, I swear it was the first for me.
I'd like to hear the explanation on that, like the description of why he goes Usher, But that's
he was kind of short with his responses, like real nonchalant.
Player. Yeah, that's right. Nah, yeah, that's actually that's dope though, right? Like everyone has their interpretation. Sometimes you want that, like I call it like the stank face effect, right? It's like
Yeah.
you want someone to be like,
Yeah.
ooh, like what was that? You know what I'm
Yeah, so
saying?
that kind of like I was on high for a little bit,
Yeah,
seeing
that's
him kind of
fine.
make that face. I
Yeah,
was like, okay, you fucking with it. That's
that's
cool.
right.
You know.
So what was the what was like what got the biggest reaction out of all the songs that you did in that performance? Which one do you feel like there's I mean obviously the ones that you've done from before you're probably going to be the most confident with,
Mm.
right? But what did you see maybe out of the crowd that you saw people were kind of like into it the most?
Um, I would say probably the Speeding Rush one,
Yeah,
and then I had started with Did You. I feel like that kind of got everybody's attention pretty
moving.
quick. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then like there's like some people at the bar, some people outside and stuff. And then like that last unreleased one, I still haven't released it. That one actually I think was doing a little like kind of the best because I had people from outside like coming in like what's
What's
that?
that?
And so that was I think that one would be the best, but I ain't even released that one yet.
Yeah,
That one was just like let's see how it do. But yeah, I would say yeah in that order.
being Russian.
Yeah,
Did you and then the
exactly.
new
Yeah,
unreleased. So I know shout out to Jaden also for putting in his
right.
efforts, and Eric. I'm sure Eric was also a big deal because he always has good feedback, good
Yeah.
constructive criticism. Did you do any original like beats, like something that Jaden threw at you, or was it more you found the beats and then you guys just started like maneuvering the mixing through Jaden and stuff like that?
Yeah, basically, because it was all YouTube beats. Like I've used Jaden's beats.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when I was on YouTube, these ones just like really spoke to me. And I know
100%.
it's kind of like taboo to use YouTube beats, but I really don't care. Like
Not
I enjoy the
yeah.
stuff that people make on there, and I think I could add to it, so I'm gonna add to it for
I agree.
what a couple bucks.
Yeah. I don't think anymore either too. I think like when we were initially starting, or maybe like even like a couple years before we started, using YouTube beats was like you're like a hack.
Yeah,
You
like
know?
cheating.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
And then nowadays it's like there's so much like flooding of content that dude, like if you go on YouTube, you're gonna find all the first 50 songs you're gonna listen to are all gonna be bangers. Like how are you not
Yeah.
supposed to pick a banger over something you're mixing at home, like not really like
Exactly,
putting
yeah.
time into? And people forget that there's literally people that spend 8 hours a day working on one beat. Like we're not gonna work like on one beat for 8 hours. Like
Yeah.
we got songs to like make, and write and stuff like that. So
Exactly.
that's cool, bro. That's good that you had like that idea because all those songs went together. All those beats like made sense together. So
Right.
yeah, man.
It was also like I even like when I'm like working with like people who are like kind of just starting music because like I like helping out, So it's like, oh, you need something like you need somewhere to record. You don't want to go to the studio. Come to my place. I got you, and I can do like a rough mix. I can't really do that well, but I got my own little preset, And so kind of just telling them like just practice on it, especially if it's got like more than like 10,000 views. You don't even really want to use it no more. It's like probably 100 people use that beat,
Yeah.
And so use those to write, and then find another beat or find someone who makes beats and they can make it in a similar tempo and like the same key, So it's like even then you could just use it for practice. It always like translates over.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, it's interesting how you have to like kind of think about that when you get into this of like how many people use this beat or this sound
Yeah.
or this type of whatever,
Yeah.
energy, And it's all, do you ever find it hard when people be like they try to compare you to other people and stuff like that?
Yeah, I feel like I have a bad habit of doing that myself, to be honest. Like, I don't want to compare myself or like anything like that, but I still just do, especially in like the local scene, like people kind of on my level and people I've met and stuff. I do kind of like compare, but I know it's like a horrible habit, but yeah.
When I was working in pest control.
No way.
Yeah, bro. Just straight up like I was like so I had like been out of a relationship for 2 years,
Right.
and I had this job and the job was paying good, One of the guys there started freaking me out. Was like, hey, you're gonna end up alone if you don't like, cause basically because the job is overnight, so you don't have time to meet nobody.
Yeah.
Because you're always working at night. And he's like, what you need to do is find yourself like a good girl that you can hold down, that will hold you down, and then start a family, get married, do your thing. that same day I went out with the mission, and like I was like, all right, we don't figure this out, and I just so happened to run into her. She was cool. She's a vibe. We started talking, and then she was like, I want to be a teacher. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, that seems wholesome enough. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And after our first day, she was kind of like, you know, we kind of grew up with both a little bit hood, with same type of hoods, Hispanic hoods and shit. And she was just like a vibe. She was like, listen to Mac Dre and like, just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She was like with the bullshit, but she was also real like, you know, humble and like had her shit straight. So yeah, man, I think we're going on 8 years.
Whoa, good for you, man.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
And now we got our 3.5-month-old baby. Yeah. Yeah.
And he's adorable. Love the name.
Yeah, Amadeus.
Sick ass name. That's a movie character name.
It's a movie character. Yeah.
Like Wolf. Something. What was it again? Wolf.
Amadeus. Yeah.
Amadeus. Yeah.
Because
where did I get Wolf? You said Wolfgang, right?
Wolfgang. Yeah. His nickname is Wolfie. So we initially I wanted to name him Wolfgang. And she didn't want to name him Wolfgang. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, let me name him Amadeus. She didn't know that I was basing it off of the famous composer Mozart, which is named Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
Yeah. So
I was like, if I can't name him Wolfgang, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, but he's definitely he's a character, man. He's super expressive, really young, but super expressive. So
that's cute.
Yeah, man. He's definitely the world right now for everybody, you know?
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear, man.
Yeah, man. Let me double check to make sure that I set this one up. I was like, I get paranoid that I didn't. All right, we're good.
Also, one question: can I have my car in here, or do I have to step out?
No, go ahead. Are you kidding me? My sister, she's blazed out of her mind right now. She's she's been hitting the cart the whole day. She's chilling.
You been hitting your cart?
No, my sister.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, my sister's in here. Yeah.
Like, rude as shit. You ain't even asked.
Nah, you're good. Nah, you guys are good, bro. This house is we're cart friendlies and shit, you know.
Cool.
I actually I stopped smoking because of
Right.
Yeah, I ended up what's it called? My girl was going through. She was having a rough pregnancy, and I was just like, you know, I'm not super religious, but I made a little like, you know, pact with God. I was like, you know what? Make sure they both come out healthy, and like, you know, I won't smoke ever again and shit. So
Ever. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, bro. I've been done for a minute, so it's hard, bro. It's hard. It's, you know.
Not bad.
But it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Thug it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But I still be eating edibles and shit. Still getting bacon.
Okay. Got your little workarounds.
You know I said smoke. You know, it's the sensation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Be like, well, technically carts are vapor. So.
And you know what? I've tried to make the excuse for myself, and I'm like, nah, it's too
don't
close.
Play with,
I'm playing with
fire.
God, bro. I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. Yeah, it's a trip, bro.
He's done crazier things for less.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Turn blood into wine. I was like, you might just turn wine into blood, bro. That might be a problem, bro. Nah, it's honestly it's been better for me, right? It's like lung wise, it's probably the best. I've been doing this for.
Yeah, it gets easier as you go. Yeah.
But yeah, man. Shout out to Love, and shout out to, you know,
absolutely
futures with partners and stuff like that. So you guys been together for a year. She says about a year.
Yeah, it's about to be 2 years in July.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it.
Of
Then
course.
on Valentine's, the day it came out was the 3-day anniversary of us meeting. We met on Valentine's.
Oh, really?
And so that's why I wanted this project to come out on Valentine's.
How'd you guys meet on Valentine's Day?
It was more like, so we met online.
Okay.
First date, you know, first
on
time
Valentine's
meeting.
Day?
So I was like, fuck it, we gotta go hard.
You guys are wild. Y'all set the standard super high.
Hella high.
Did you show up with the flowers and the whole shebang? Damn, Wonder,
I showed up at Macaroni Grill.
Oh, okay. Dude, that doesn't even exist anymore, huh?
It don't. The exact one we went to don't exist.
Elk Grove?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. That's wild.
Yeah.
That was a spot too. That was my sister's favorite place to go. We used to go there every year for my birthday. Yeah. But yeah, that's wild, you guys. So you guys literally basically met up the first day on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
set the bar high. Macaroni grill, that's pretty like.
Yeah, it also was kind of like she was working, I was working, so it was kind of like the only day that worked out. It wasn't like, okay, Valentine's is coming up, we'll save that for the day. Like it just was like, damn, we're about to meet on Valentine's Day.
But it's kind of cute though, right? Like you show up a little bit giddy, like, okay, well at least I'm not alone this year. Like I'm chilling.
I was nervous as shit. Like you can ask her, I was yapping. I wouldn't shut the fuck up. I just kept talking.
That's fine.
She was fucking with it though, because I was just like, I didn't want there to be awkward silence, because it was Valentine's Day, and even though we had a reservation, we were standing waiting for like 30 minutes. You know, and it's like, it's not like we're standing by ourselves. Like there's a motherfucker less than a foot away. There's 100%. Another couple sitting right here, hearing every word I say to her.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
It was so awkward. I was like so like nervous and in my head, but I was just like, okay, keep talking, keep trying to make her laugh, and she was laughing the whole time, so it worked out.
Man, I can only imagine. just a bunch of noise around you, just like, hey, what's up? Like, and she's just like fucking with it. She already fucks with you. But the couple right next to you is like, boy, he's got no game over here.
No, seriously. Sitting here like, so what you like doing?
So what you be on? Like, man? So...
Well, it really got to a point where we were making fun of the other people waiting. Remember? There was a motherfucker standing with a cowboy hat and some cowboy boots, and we're here like...
What the hell? It's like, bro, Texas Roadhouse is down the street, brother. That's crazy. No, that's super dope, but that is the wildest shit. Because I could fully immerse myself in exactly what you're talking about, bro. That's wild. And that was the day you guys kind of like hit it off and was like, oh, let's do this? Or was it like a slow, gradual, like...
What do you think?
It was like... we didn't want to be with each other, because he was like trying to play the player, like, oh, I'm just like not ready for a relationship. I just want to hold around right now.
Oh, hella done.
That's why the project started with a couple like whole songs. That's why like it's, you know, it's a story.
That's wild. No, hey, and if you guys can't hear us, she was just saying that he didn't want to be in a relationship, that he wasn't ready for it, so he was trying to play it off player. Like I know, I see where you come from. I understand it. But hey, but at the end of the day, it's how it's gotta be sometimes. Because sometimes you be putting in the 100, and they be like, you too clingy, I'm too much. You know, and then it's over. But you was feeling her. You were like from the get go. You was like, yeah, that's.
I thought she was a catfish.
Oh, really?
I swear to God, because I was sitting here like, okay, I'm going to still show up. Yeah. I was sitting here like, ain't no way she about to come through how she came in her page, because she in her picture like...
Yeah. She models that, doing the extras. Yeah.
You know, like, knowing her angle, she sent me a picture, like, it was a video, and I still, like, have it in my head. It was, like, her in glasses, and she just go like this. Like, this girl's not real.
Shit. And it was golden hour, right? And the sun was hitting right there. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So I was like, okay, it's a little too good to be true.
Right?
And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna still show up. Then she walked through the door. Oh my God. I was like freaking out more. I was like, oh shit. She looked hella good. Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, no, I still remember that. That was crazy. Reliving it, that's hella fun.
That's right. So how like long did it take for you guys to make that official? Like,
how long is between February and July? Yeah,
like
4 months,
4 or 5 months.
Yeah. So like four months of like
February to July.
Yeah,
that's like 6 months, bro. That's like half a year.
For real?
Yeah, because January to June is 6 months. February to July, that's 6 months.
Oh, damn. It took us a while.
See, that's what you was playing games for a minute, bro.
I was trying to finish writing those songs.
He was like, hold on, bro. You got to understand. I'm in the studio right now. I got things going on. Like, you don't get it. But you going to come with me. This train take off. You got a ticket. Don't even trip.
That's right.
All right. I see you. Okay. Hey, but it worked out. So
it definitely worked out.
So when you guys say you guys been together for almost 2 years, do you guys count that period too, or you guys count after it?
We kind of just celebrate that Valentine's Day a little more because it's like day we met.
Yeah,
you
for
know.
sure.
So like last year we went to Catalina. So like we spent like what?
Catalina wine mixer. You don't
Nah.
know? Do you know that? Do you know
Is that a meme?
Step Brothers?
Oh,
That's the Catalina wine mixer. Catalina, where that's it's like a city out here, no?
It's like an island.
Like
yeah.
an island, right?
Yeah, so
yeah.
beautiful.
That's
we had a
tight.
little golf cart. Such a good time.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it was my first time on like a vacation. You know, like I'm used to going on vacation with my mom. You know,
That's fly though, Catalina.
it was. It
Damn,
cost a pretty
okay.
penny, but we
Sure.
were saving for a minute. Like
That's
we
good.
made it an effort to go there. So this year we're planning on going to Jamaica. So
Fire.
like for Valentine's, we didn't go that hard. We just went
Mm-hmm.
to McCooney's, but we're trying to go to Jamaica, and I'm pretty excited for that.
Super dope. Why Catalina? Like,
Just random.
Yeah, it was just kind of nice. Like, yeah, I just thought it was nice. I heard about it. You know,
you haven't been there before? You
never
just like
been there. Well, apparently I have been there when I was a kid, but I don't
Mm.
remember a thing about it. My mom said we've been there,
Yeah.
but when I was there, I didn't recognize none. So
That's it. Yo, I mean, have you ever watched Step Brothers before?
yeah, it's funny now that you say it. Yeah, I get it. That's where they did that concert, right?
Yeah,
in front of everybody, and it was
that's
like
the Catalina
big
wine
shit.
mixer. Yeah. If
Still
y'all haven't
Rolling
seen it
Loud.
together, y'all should watch it. That's a trip.
Yeah,
bro.
that's a good movie.
That's a trip. All right, so Catalina, Jamaica though. That's a trip.
She's Jamaican,
bro.
so
Awesome.
wanted to go back home for a while, and I've never been, so I was like, I need someone who knows the land. So-
When was the last time you been?
Like 3 years ago.
Okay, so pretty
I'm not
frequently,
sure.
pretty recently. So that's gonna be dope, bro.
Yeah, I'm
especially if like you got family out there. Oh, smooth, bro. You're
Yeah.
gonna have a great time.
That's
bro.
what I'm saying. Like, I'm
That's
excited.
dope.
Yeah.
Super dope.
Yeah,
What-
just saving up right now. We're about to like book it probably like this week. You know.
Yeah. What's some like bomb food out, like Jamaican food, like jerk chicken type thing? Yeah.
Yeah, some jerk chicken or some curry chicken or something.
What's the bread thing that you guys have? It's like it's like
The dumplings.
is it what is it like a yeast type of thing? Is like that you eat with the meat too?
Yeah, the dumplings. It's
Yeah.
fried dumplings.
Yeah. Damn, bro. That's a trip, bro.
Yeah, I'm
You got some
excited.
bomb ass food.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Man, well, that's super dope. I'm like, man, you gotta love, right? At the end of the
Right.
day, that's super dope. I think that adds to the whole entire lore of like what you're going through right now, like this whole project and kind of, I feel like you're going into the next, like that next level of artistry, right?
Yeah, next. Yeah, that's what I'm excited for because like I feel it too.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm just excited for the next thing I make because like I swear I like, especially lately, I'll be impressing myself. You know, and I love that feeling. You know, because like when you're going through the artist block, you know, it just make you extra grateful for like when you're not in it. You know.
Are you at the point of writing where like writing is almost easy at this point, like kind of effortless? It's like a lot on your mind type shit, or
No, not quite. It's kind of like, it kind of depends on what I'm listening to, like the beat I'm listening to, how I'm feeling, that like what's on my mind, and like especially like for me, it's consistency. Like if I take a break for like 2 weeks,
yeah,
dead ass, I come back like I don't even know where to start.
yeah.
You know, but if I like get in that habit and like I'm glad I've like made that consistency, like at least an hour, a couple hours a day
Yeah.
of like creating or at least trying to create something.
Mhm.
And so every day it's just easier. And so like I'll just be sitting here like trying to fall asleep and there's a melody in my head,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, okay, let me write that down, make a quick little voice
For
memo,
sure.
and then come back to it in the morning,
Yeah.
you know? And so, yeah, I'm pretty grateful, but it's not like easy. Like I had
Yeah,
to like
yeah.
make it consistent,
For sure.
you
For
know?
sure.
Like I don't really got that like just like off the bat talent. Like how
Yeah.
earlier I said like first couple of years I didn't even like my music.
Yeah.
You know, like I enjoyed the process, but I didn't really like it like that. You
Yeah.
know, I was having a lot of fun making it, not listening
Yeah.
to it. And so now only like recently I'm really like I listen to my own music.
For
like,
sure.
I like it. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I would bump this. And so it's kind of where I'm at now, and I'm just excited for like the next thing I'm gonna release.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
Yeah. I think, look, man, you have a great catalog. You have a lot of things that are building up as far as like a repertoire, like a resume. You know what I'm saying? Like you got Boldy James. It's a good bump up.
Exactly.
But your music's gonna speak even more than
Like,
the
there's nothing
performance. You
Boldy
know?
could do for me.
Exactly.
He's not
right?
gonna hold my hand and be like, all right, so here's the next thing to
Yeah.
do. Like, it's just like a cool little, for the EPK.
Exactly.
Something to put on my resume.
100%. And I think like make sure that whenever you do these things, even if you gotta shell out a little bit for a lunch or a dinner or something like that for somebody, like get somebody with the camera there, bro. Get
Exactly.
somebody that could take these little flicks for you and
That,
make
for
it
real.
look real professional. You know what I'm saying? It's like, unfortunately, this is like a really expensive career, but only if you don't have like that backup of like good people around you, which I feel like you do, man. And I think at some point it's just gonna be a matter of just like, having that right team around you and making sure that everyone understands their role. Like, I'm saying, never putting too much pressure on nobody, but enough to get them to understand like you have a talent, you have goals in mind, and honestly, if you continue on the path that you're on, like you're gonna achieve that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
For sure.
And yeah, I'm like, I agree. Like that next thing for me is really like building a team. Like I know you said like I have people to kind of go for to that, but I don't know. I feel like I need a more stable team,
100%, yeah.
And so like once I'm able to do that and have some like people kind of like just a couple like dedicated to the cause, and like not saying I'm gonna do it for free, but like like really.
But like
show
yeah,
up,
like yeah, like you can. The thing is that people don't understand that either. It's like a little bit is that we got is like that's all we got. You're always reinvesting into the craft, right? So even if it's like for me, it was always like if I gotta bring somebody in, all right, cool, I'm gonna buy you some lunch. Or you like weed, okay, I'm gonna buy you a dub, like dub 5 or a little eighth real quick, whatever.
Exactly.
But it's hard because like in these careers, like I mean, people want to get paid.
Yeah, no, I get it.
$200 a day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm like,
and it's just like outrageous a little bit, cause especially since like going to like these little events and stuff, trying to network. It's very like. It's tough, but it's like if you're not my friend's friend, I can't be your friend.
Yeah, 100%.
And so it's like I don't know. It's hard to really, really network with people. And they just kind of see you as a customer,
100%,
which is cool.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I respect your craft. You should get paid for it. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of times, like you paying them this top dollar, and they kind of treat it like a favor they doing you. They're not really treating it like the job.
Like I could be charging you X amount of money. I'm only charging you, and it's like, I get where you're coming from. I've been in those positions a few times for.
Yeah, but like building a team and not having to worry about that, knowing like okay, this person will show up with their best, like, and do their best.
100%.
And so that's my main thing, because like I keep paying somebody to like help me with this thing and this vision I have, and then they kind of do it half-ass.
100%.
And it's like, okay, I thought that's what I was paying $100 for.
Yeah.
To not have it half-ass. But yeah, that team, I think that's like what's next for me, like building that team and having just a solid foundation of like consistency. Because even like you were saying, like go out on lunch, like have somebody video it. Like I agree, like especially nowadays, it's all content. It's content more than music.
Everything, bro.
And like that part kind of just irks me because I don't really care for it like that. And so having someone that kind of makes that part a little easier. You know what I mean?
It's interesting because like. See, like that camera right there, I bought in 2015, and like that's when I graduated, right? I bought it. It's 10 years old at this point, or even more than that, but 10 years since I've had it. I bought those lights damn near right after and shit like that, and I barely started using this stuff maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But I had to. It's like investing, and this goes for anybody that's trying to get into content space, or even I would say the music space in general, because being an artist is really expensive. Studio time, mixing, mastering, putting together a promo reel, putting together like your whole package. If you don't know how to do all those things on your own, it's really expensive. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's expensive if you want to do it nice.
Exactly.
You could do it for free, technically.
You can get a phone and just like thug it out. You know what I'm saying?
You could have a stock image, but it's like nobody gonna look at it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that for me, the important thing was always like, invest in certain equipment that's really, really essential, and then put it in somebody's hands that's already there with you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But look, easier said than done. the reality is that everybody finds their team at the right time, because it's just like we're all a part of some type of thing that's gonna land when it lands. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like everybody has their time to shine.
But I always say, like, the only way that you fail in this is if you stop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, and I'll give you. You don't need that advice, but if I had anything to tell you, is just continue to go. Because this is you. Like, don't do this because you're trying to just like be the richest person in the world or the most famous. Like, do this because you love it, and continue to do it because you love it. You know what I'm saying? Because who knows? It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be a year from now. But if this shit takes off and you're able to have that generational wealth and change the whole, parameters of your surroundings, like, you wouldn't have been able to do that if you stopped. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. Like still just showing up is like putting a shot up. You
Exactly.
know, like yeah, that's like the whole reason I started. Cause like even then, like I knew like okay, it's like less than a 1% chance you make it, but it's like okay, I still want that chance.
100%,
You know, it's
yeah.
like maybe. You know,
Yeah.
and even then, like now I don't even really have that. Like, of course, I'd love to make it, but I just like making songs. You know,
Yeah.
like I just enjoy the process. And like a big thing for me was like kind of being scared to like
Yeah.
show the world. You know, but I'm really like enjoying not doing that. You know, because you know, and kind of getting to that point where it's like y'all hearing what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Like, this is sick, huh?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I've kind of just like really like I love the process, how I got into it, especially in the beginning, how I was like these songs suck, but fuck am I having fun.
Yeah.
And like now it's like I'm having fun and I fuck with these songs.
Yeah.
Now I really want to do it more.
Mhm.
You know, it's just finding the time to do it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and even like if you're getting off like work or just life, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes life is just stressful. You're just too tired to do it, you know, but treating it kind of like video games. You know, like at the end of the day, you know, you kind of have your little like 30 minutes to wind down. You play video games, replace it with making the music, you know, not treat it like a job, but treat it like, okay, my 30 minutes to wind down, let me freestyle.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
It just makes it fun again. You
Yeah.
know, I feel like for a little bit I lost that.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I need to be good, to practice,
Yeah.
scales,
Yeah.
like all this shit. And I need to just be the best I could be.
You took the fun out of it.
Exactly. It wasn't
Yeah.
fun no more. And like just hating it,
Yeah.
you know? But now it's like, it's fun again. And I'm learning as I'm going, you know? So I feel like I'm in my little zone right now.
That's super dope, bro. You know, this is the whole reason for this. Is like, I was, I had talked to Rob about this a little while ago, and I was like, What Wonder just dropped a project. I go, I really think he needs to be the next interview. And I was like, it's just something about the energy of what he's doing and how consistent and how he's just throwing shit at the wall, making sure that you're not even just throwing it to see if it hits, you're throwing it and making sure it gets stuck. And like, that's smart. Like this is calculated promotion and the calculated marketing. You already have the product. All you have to do is just keep hitting it and showing people every day. I have this kind of like, it's kind of like my motive for doing things the way I do it. You kind of stay around these crowds long enough, people start recognizing you, and you stop becoming a stranger. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
what I've noticed. Like, that's why I don't really pop out like that no more. Because I've noticed that it's like you don't gotta be good. These people treat you like a fucking celebrity because they seen you last week.
Exactly.
Shit is stupid.
Exactly.
You know, and it's like even the motherfuckers like I'm not naming names, but people popping. I'm like, yo, ass suck.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then like I'm at these events and I'm like, okay, I keep hearing about this person, and then they get on the stage doing the most mediocre shit. And I'm like, this is what everybody tripping on. And so I'm like, you know what? I don't think I want to impress you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen what you guys like. Y'all not my audience. Yeah. You know?
Have you ever seen, I don't know if this is common to you, but for me, I see a lot of like people that'll bite a whole entire style and flow of somebody else. And this I'm not going to throw shots, but I'm not going to be on that type of time. I think you're original. I think everyone that we work with is original.
Right.
Nobody ever really seems like someone else. Mm-hmm. But I've seen artists that like have real followings that come from SAC that literally are just kind of like carbon copies of somebody else, and I'll just be like,
yep, like, I know who you talking about.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, it just doesn't, to me, it's like, then what's the whole point of this? Like, if we're just going to try to follow
that's what I'm saying. I was like, and it pisses me off. It's like, they be treating this motherfucker like they artists.
Royalty,
it's like,
bro.
These impersonators are not my competition.
That's what
don't put me in the same sentences. Like their competition is on like Times Square doing the moonwalk. You know, that's their competition. Not me. I make my own music, my own style. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I don't know. Let them have fun, I guess, but I don't take them too serious. You know, you're not hurting nobody to do your thing, but
100%. Yeah.
you know, I'm not gonna act like we doing the same thing.
And that's the truth. And I think like that's important when you get to this point is like you're kind of at the tipping point of either like this is like gonna be successful or you're gonna let the pressure get to you and not go that direction. It's like you can't really let the pressure get to you if you love doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, and I don't really like care.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you think I sound like this guy, like I'll take it as a compliment. Like cool,
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
because I know I'm not trying to be this person.
100%.
You know, like sometimes I hear a song and I'm like, okay, I want to try that voice they're doing
Yeah.
because it sounds like silly or
Yeah.
fun. You know, or just do it a little similar. But like I don't care. I've seen like there's so many artists who like straight up steal. You know, so it's like I don't really have no shame about it. You know, like even like when I first started, because like I feel like when you first start, that's when it's acceptable.
Yeah, 100%,
you know, year one, even like year two.
Year 3, bro.
Yeah,
until
if
you have your
Yeah, because like that's how you start. You know, like everybody like on those YouTube videos and stuff when they're like, because that's where I learned. YouTube University how to rap.
100%.
It was like just your top 3 favorite artists, just copy them.
Yep.
You know, what do you think they would make on this beat you hearing? You know, and then eventually you make your sound. But if it's past year 2, you still doing that shit, it's like, all right, done.
Or if you've hit with something that sounds very very similar to somebody else's, it's kind of like
Yeah, well,
like
I think that's okay. If you do it once,
so?
it's okay. If it's a pattern, then I think it's a problem. Because, like, you can't make nothing without stealing something. Everything's been made.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a single, like,
That's true.
new thing you can do. You know, you could just kind of add on to some shit that's already been made. So, but when it's a habit, it's like, okay, then I'm like, I see you.
Yeah, like wait a minute. So where do you see yourself in the next year? Like what's the I know you're working on more than likely is going to be the album now, right? Your full piece of album.
Yeah, even though I've noticed I can't even look at it like that because then I like get stuck. I just make music every day and eventually an album will come together. But I've tried that where it's like, okay, you got your whiteboard, it's gonna be synths, it's gonna be, you know, like all this stuff. But then once I try to make it, it doesn't come out because I'm trying to make this thing. You know, instead I show up every day and I record every day, you know, and then eventually something comes from it, you know, and if it's just a single, cool. If it's a whole 17 song project with a deluxe, cool. Whatever happens, happens, you know. I'm just here making whatever feels authentic that day,
Yeah.
you know.
100%. I think I like that approach of like you might make 15 songs and you might like 12 or you might like 7 and you go with those 7. Like
Exactly.
To me, it's like the easiest way to do things is making them in a bulk. You know?
Yeah, because that's why I didn't drop for like a year and a half, 2 years, because I had that mentality of I'm going to make a project that is something. I never even really came up with nothing. I just had to go off. I'm gonna make a project, and then I didn't drop for a year or 2 years because I couldn't think of what to make. You know, but as soon as I like stopped having that mentality, is when I made real traction on this project and like got to release and all these opportunities showed up.
Right.
You know, but yeah, I definitely feel what you're saying.
This thing just went off, but I'll deal with that later. Just we'll get to these last couple questions. When was the last project that you, or what was the last song that you did to throw in here that was just like, okay, like this is sealed, this is done, like, how did you seal this project?
I asked a couple of people their inputs because it was some more songs that I ended up taking off, but the hard part is kind of figuring out how to like structure it, you know, but eventually it kind of just came together and told a little story, like all accidentally. But the last song I added, is that what you said?
Yeah, like what was the last the finishing touch to say this is done, or maybe the finishing approval, or what, just like that thing to just write it, like sign it and call it a day.
I would say that mixed with Brad.
Got it.
Yeah, like just feeling like that trust. Like I don't think he would waste it, like, because he put hours into
Yeah.
it. Like, I don't think he would waste his time when he charges thousands a song. Like, I don't think he would just do it if he didn't really believe in it.
Yeah.
You know? And so that kind of made me like fuck what I'm thinking. Because, I'm just being critical. I'm hating on it before I release it. I'm like, all this stuff in my head. But, like, these people believe in it. So,
Trusted stamp of approval. Like,
exactly. Fuck what I think about it. These people already believe in it.
Got it.
So, why am I adding steps and, like, putting stuff in the way? So because that was the big part. I was like nervous to drop it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this project, I've never made nothing like that before.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say 90% of this project, because like these are the first singing songs.
Yeah.
Like Did You and Oh For Real were straight rapping.
Yeah.
And so that felt really vulnerable, like singing, especially since I'm so new to singing, but yeah, I guess like there was no last step. It was like, I know this has to be done.
Got it.
That was it, and like even like tying back to our thing of like, don't quit.
Yeah.
Because a big thing for me was like, fuck, I ain't dropping it in like 2 years. I used to, like, when I first started, even though it wasn't like great or nothing, I was dropping every 2 weeks.
Damn.
New shit.
Yeah.
Brand new song every 2 weeks. And I made like progress. It was on SoundCloud, but got like, 16, 17, like 100 followers on SoundCloud, just dropping every 2 weeks. People just fucking with it. I had no promotion.
Right.
It's not like I had followers on Instagram. I was like, I had no friends in high school. I didn't even have nobody in my high school bumping my shit. But I had like strangers, and then it like it was legit SoundCloud that kind of like helped the most, because then these people heard my song and then they messaged me on SoundCloud like, yo, I fuck with your stuff, let's collaborate. And so I'm like, I collaborate with any and everybody, so then like really got some like practice and kind of had me like tapped in with just random people in like Chicago, and then like fucking like out of country, I don't even know, but like some European shit, I don't know the name.
You were in high school drill shit?
Yeah, like, no, you know how I told you like year 1 and 2 kind of copy your favorite?
Yeah.
My favorite was X.
Oh, sick.
Still
sick.
is.
Okay, yeah.
So I was just an X knockoff, but years after that wave passed.
Okay. Like super distorted, like heavy ass, like
not
bass,
even,
or
just yelling.
Just yelling. Okay.
Just yelling and saying shit.
Yeah.
And God, it was so like cringe looking back, because it that era had passed for cool 2-3 years, and now I'm making this shit, and so it was kind of weird. But there was like some people who like really fucked with it, and they just like wanted to collaborate, so it worked out. Or they're like, oh, let me mix your next thing, and like I think that's all you need, like they're like, I fuck with your sound, everything, all you need is better mixing, because even my mixes were from Fiverr.
Oh, okay.
So I paid $5.
Yeah?
For my mix.
You found them for $5 still at that time?
Yeah, it was like $5. Yeah, $5 was my first mix.
Yeah.
He didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
like cranked it up a little bit or
he
something.
He looked at it, turned it up like half a decibel, was like, mixed.
Fire.
It's yours. It's funny, my first song, actually, I recorded it with the microphone backwards. Because I didn't know there was a backwards to a microphone.
Oh, the front facing the...
Yeah, because that's why, like, my friends and stuff, they heard it. They were like, yo, why does it sound like you're on the other side of the fucking room? And like, I can't hear you.
You're recording the echo. And
yeah,
the reflection.
And so, yeah. The microphone is pointing at the corner.
Yeah.
And I'm recording at it. And, yeah, he mixed it. He ain't tell me none of this was a problem.
Yeah.
And I just put it out on SoundCloud. That didn't do nothing. That one, like, nobody gave a fuck. But then I kept trying. And, like, by, like, my third song, people were fucking with it, I took it all down at this point, just because it's like, okay, that shit's not me, but it was cool. It got my foot in the door. It got me like a lot of hours of experience, and just that effort, like I feel like that drive to like making this stuff was the highest at that point, when I didn't know a fucking thing. Yeah, because I was, oh my God, every little thing was hard. Fucking the computer shit had me punching holes in the wall. Fucking like, why is it not picking up sound? Or it's picking up sound. Why is it 2 seconds late though?
Yeah, the latency.
There's so much little shit with it. Before you even record, there's like a million things you gotta do. But I was dedicated.
No, I completely agree, bro. Did you ever record 2 seconds late and then later have to just put it in place? Bro,
I was never that tech savvy. I wish.
No, I was bad, bro. Where I would record something with hella latency,
Mhm.
and then I would have to like drag
Bring
it
it.
back. And people would always ask me like, "Dude, why does it sound so late?" And my
Yeah.
ears is like echoing. I'm like, I don't know, bro. It's just the mic.
I had a delay.
With all that being said, it's like it's kind of funny. So like, you know, people are always gonna look back at maybe like, did you? They're not gonna look back at those ones, and
Yeah.
that's where the journey really starts for a lot of artists. Is like,
Yeah.
you know, you're not really starting from, you know, your first song that you're confident about. That's
Yeah.
that's the one you'll probably have online everywhere.
Yeah.
But like I had, you know, I agree. I've had another 10 songs that I had released
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, I had like 20. I had a lot, like, because I
Yeah.
was really dropping.
No,
And
yeah.
so, yeah, I just took them all down. And it's just like, because those were those ones where I was finding my sound.
Yeah.
I was like, this isn't really me. This is X.
Yeah.
Or this is like, at the time, it was like Kendrick and Cole as well. Which
Yeah.
is kind of like all over the place, X and then Kendrick and Cole,
Right,
you know?
right,
But
right.
those were those artists. And so then, like, I feel like Did You was that first one where I was like, this is me.
Found
You know,
yourself.
this isn't
Yeah.
like copying anyone. This isn't trying to be like anyone. This is me.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I'd rather have that be my first song. You know, because like all those other ones, figuring out how a mic works.
Yeah.
Which way is the front?
Yeah. And I got sound coming out of it now.
Oh, and
And it's not late.
I remember that, yeah, like Googling, like, why does it sound so far, and figuring out there's the front, and like hearing the difference as I turn, like, oh my,
my
God, I
God.
sound amazing. This is the studio quality everyone's talking about.
Oh my God. Yeah, man. I think it's everybody's beginner like struggles. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the part where a lot of people get discouraged. Before I went to school and everything, I had worked in music for 7 years, and I just sucked ass. I sucked ass up until maybe like half a year before I met you. Then I finally started kind of getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
Then like we Did You, and Did You was my first, damn near my first mix like that I felt confident with. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, as any artist. Then I did a bunch of stuff with Rob after, and that was still not there, but it was getting closer.
Yeah, I
And
remember those ones. Those are good.
Dude, maybe by my middle of second semester at school, that's when I started like really, really getting the hang of that shit. At this point, I'm like way more fucking confident. The plugin, you know, list is higher, and everything's like simple. But I will say, like, I think we all have to go through we all have to bump our elbows and get our bruises and stuff. But okay, so I'll finish it off with the collabs. Do you see yourself collabing in the next project? Do you have anybody in mind? I would think Eric is probably somebody that you would.
Me and him
know
got
what I'm
our
saying?
own project,
Yeah,
so we're just
yeah.
waiting to release that. This next one, I don't know. I'm kind of stuck, to be honest, because I kind of want to do a no feature like debut album, straight me. This is my sound. This is everything I do, not just love songs. You know, like everything, and like getting deep too. Just talk about life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for that album, probably just myself, no features. But I would love to do features, work with different people, like. Absolutely, you know, and I don't even really charge for features, like, you know, it's like, oh, if I don't know you, you know, but even then, it's like, if I'm taking the feature, I'll fuck with the song, you know, so I'm gonna just do it because I wanna, you know.
100% agreed.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to features, I've always been firm on this. Like, I'll charge for mixing and mastering and stuff. I'll never charge for a feature, especially if it's for my shit. I'm like, bro, you're already doing me a favor coming on this thing. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Thank you. I was gonna say thank you for having me. I feel
Nah,
like you're doing
yeah.
me a favor.
And that's the truth, is like, at the end of the day, what I will say is like, this whole thing that I'm trying to do with the interviews, it has nothing to do with to me, this isn't really about like the kind of clout side of things. To me, this is more for like whoever the artist is. I just want you guys to have something out there so that if people see your music, like, I've clicked on interviews before that had like 500 views of like an artist that just started popping off, like Trippy or like, you know, Lil Pump back in the day, like when Lyrical Lemonade was starting. I like that. Like, I'm like,
I agree.
I just want to know who you are. Like, let me get to know you better.
You remember
like,
when they had those like so and so teaches you how to roll a blunt?
Yeah,
I love that one.
yeah.
That one was so cool. Those interviews,
And
man,
they're just gritty.
I miss those. I wish they had stuff like that again. They're like, You know, even double XL, I'm not fucking with that no more.
Nah,
You
yeah,
know, like that used to be a goal.
Yeah.
Like making it to there. I
Yeah.
couldn't give a fuck now.
it's too mainstream, bro. Too much higher
Not
up
even
and
mainstream.
shit.
I just feel like the choices they've made and the people they brought on, I just kind of like disagree. I'm like, you know what? I don't think I care to impress y'all.
But
You know?
I think they're all label based. Like that's what I'm
Oh,
saying
yeah.
is like
Yeah.
I think when you take we're still in this era and I feel like SAC has never hit hard enough to get to that point yet. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, kind.
Like who
I don't know.
we have maybe a handful of artists that came out of SAC that really went crazy, but our media circuit is not popping like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
No, I feel that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm honestly trying to branch out of SAC because I don't get me wrong. I'm proud of like being from here and
Yeah.
like born and raised and everything, but I'm not trying to be like the Sacramento artist.
100%.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I don't
agreed.
really care. And it's like I put Sacramento on the map. It's the
Nah,
capital.
nah,
You didn't put
yeah,
Sacramento
yeah.
on the map.
100%.
And so it's like I don't really even care for that. You know, it's like, and I really also just believe like you are where you're meant to be.
Yep.
You know, like even myself, like I haven't blown up because I'm not supposed to.
Yeah.
I still have to learn.
Yeah,
You know, there's
yeah.
things I gotta learn. You know, and so like I don't really know. I don't really even like resonate with that whole like, oh, Sacramento never got a chance. Like, everybody gets a chance.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know,
For
it's
sure,
like
yeah.
you get random ass motherfuckers from Idaho blowing up.
Yeah.
You don't think they saying the same shit? It's the Sacramento of
100%.
California.
Yeah.
You know, 90% of movies are in fucking California.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what do you
Yeah.
mean you can't make it here?
Yeah.
You wouldn't make it anywhere else then, I don't
Yeah,
think.
hindsight.
Like,
It's the truth, man. If you go to like LA or New York or anything, it's just as
yeah, and like, don't get me
Fucked up,
wrong,
but,
their
like-
scene there in Atlanta and
Yeah.
stuff, it's more, but you can't act like there's nothing here. Like,
Yeah.
imagine the people in the Midwest where they really got no like shit
Nah,
there.
yeah.
You know, it's like, nah, there's fucking boba shops at every corner. You're okay.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
You're all right.
But at the end of the day, look, man, this is the benefit of being a part of a town like this is that
Right.
you, like I said, there's a community enough for you to be a part of something. But I would say they're still in the building blocks enough for you to be somebody that stands out. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Exactly,
It's
I
like,
agree.
You know,
Yeah.
and I think that like I said, if you follow this up with something that is equally as put together and as cohesive, I mean, I don't see why you don't start, you know, moving into those different brackets and lanes of people. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah, because like even that, like, sorry, just trying to go back.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when you say like people haven't made it out of SAG, like who are you talking about? Like rappers?
no. People that have or haven't.
Like no, like haven't.
No, I don't think anybody hasn't made it out of SAC. I don't think there's really too many people that have made it out of SAC that claim SAC like that. Like,
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
okay.
Like, I think what I'm more or less saying is like, there's a handful of people that claim SAC as their, like, we came up, and you know who they are, like
Yeah.
the most famous names, the rappers, and the ones
Yeah,
that, you
because
know,
I'm
kinda
thinking
went
like
crazy.
we got rock stars that came out of SAG. Like we
got
Dance Gavin
actors.
Dance,
We got Dance Gavin Dance 100%.
Deftones.
Exactly.
You know Smosh, the fucking pioneers of YouTube came from SAG.
No, I didn't know that. What is
Smosh.
it? The
Those two white guys.
minorities. The minorities came out of here too. They're also two like
Oh,
content creators.
really?
Yeah. They're from SAG.
Yeah, so like I'm like I don't think so. I think there is opportunity here. you
But I
know?
do think that it's like you like there's opportunity. What I'm more or less getting at is that I still feel like it's not really like the heaviest competition. You get what I'm saying? Like I think this is one place where it's still like if you're in LA and you have somebody like Remble or you have Blue Bucks, Blue Bucks, or you have like all these different artists that are already kind of really well established, have done these huge shows and sold out and do all this stuff. You know, I feel like it's a little different. Sacramento, I don't think I've ever been to a concert or a show where I don't see a new artist open. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I've seen Neff the Pharaoh perform, and one of my boys from high school like opened. You know what I'm saying? That to me is like a show of like, yeah, like SAC has a lot of like openings for people. Like it has a lot of opportunity for you to still shine through the other people that are shining. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not oversaturated with like famous ass people. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, so like you're at talking more about like the underground scene.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Okay.
we're still underground enough to be able to have like a full platform pop up out of here that's just like new. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I guess what I could say is like we don't have like a Hot 97. We don't have like, you know, DJ Ebro, and we don't have like a
Yeah.
Breakfast Club. I think like SAC would be a cool place to have a nice media circuit that's just like bringing up all this like the Thizzler. You know what I'm saying? Bringing up all the
Yeah.
underground artists and stuff.
I've
I think that'd be
I've seen
tough.
a couple people attempt at it, but it's just too like back to what I said, like if you're not my friend's friend, you're not my friend. You know, it's like
Political, yeah.
yeah, like I agree, but I'm honestly over it. Like I don't really care. I'ma still do my thing. Like
Yeah.
you know, like it would be cool. Don't get me wrong,
sure.
but it's like I don't really have no hope for it. I've seen there's a million of them for SAC,
Yeah.
but they all just like you know these fucking like lists. Everybody obsessed with lists, and they all
Oh, they're
suck.
still making those?
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
The graded ones? The report cards or no? Or
No,
just
not the report cards, but just like little like
best.
yeah,
artists
like
in
best
SAC?
artists out of set, and it's like not even like the whole argument of like comparing art. You know, not even
Yeah.
like that, but generally, like some of these people are fucking mediocre, and like don't lie. You put this here because this is your homie of 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, like don't act
Agree,
like
agree.
this motherfucker hard.
Like, bro, I listen to this fool every day.
No, you
Like,
don't.
Really? No, yeah.
Right?
Nah, yeah, I get where you're coming from. Like I said, man, it's a trip. That's why I'm glad that we have the community that we have. I'm glad that we had the circle of people that we knew from SEC.
Right.
And I think that that's kind of where my approach is coming from. Maybe that's my bias, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I think my people's is good. I think everybody that we've worked with are like talented. And if everybody just keeps dropping and doing their projects, like these interviews are fun, dude. Like
Yeah.
we know each other.
Yeah.
We already know what's up. And
Yeah.
like, this is just a easier way to kind of get the internet or whoever's watching to kind of get to know you better.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, I will say congratulations on the drop of an album. That's a big dub.
Thank you.
Congratulations on Boldy James. Congratulations on just continually improving in your craft. You know, I'm glad that you guys are in a nice healthy relationship that is inspiring in your creative side. And does she also make music? Is she an artist kind of like?
She is an artist, but not music. She's really good at drawing and things like that. And
That's
crocheting. Yeah, she's good.
I can't wait, and I hope you guys merge those worlds because that's another big thing. It's like
Yeah, I swear.
doing things that are fun for both you guys and creative for both you guys. Man, you could go a long way doing that stuff. So
Thank you, man.
Thank you for coming in and thank you for doing this, man. And like I said, always there's always gonna be a home for you, man.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, like let's keep doing this so that we can keep growing. One another's like platforms. Everybody's gonna go up. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right. See y'all later.